Welcome to the AC 24/7 Top Story Countdown. We'll guide you through the biggest news of the day. Our focus, advocating our rights, advocating health, and advocating Earth. Here's our pick for number 4.
It's not clear why mother and daughter were kidnapped in the first place. Kidnapping for ransom has become an epidemic in Haiti in the last few years. More than 1,000 people were kidnapped in the Caribbean country between January and June this year, according to a report by the UN. As to where the kidnapping victims are right now, what I can tell you is that the Christian humanitarian aid organization that Alex Dorsanville works for says that they can confirm the safe release of their staff member and friend El Roi Haiti, that's the name of the organization, also said in a statement that today they're praising God for answered prayers while asking people not to contact Dorsanville or her family because, quote, there's still much to process and to heal from in this situation. As you may remember, the nurse is married to Sandro Dorsanville, the Christian organization's director. The same day they were kidnapped in late July, the U.S. State Department ordered the departure of non-emergency government personnel from Haiti as the security situation in the country worsened. This is how a department spokesman reacted to the news earlier. Let's take a listen.
I will say that we welcome the reports of their release. We have no greater priority, of course, than the safety and security of U.S. citizens overseas. We express our deepest appreciation to our Haitian and U.S. interagency partners for their assistance in facilitating for their safe release, and out of respect for their privacy, we'll let the individuals speak for themselves when they feel ready.
The Haitian National Police told CNN they can't comment on the matter because they're still investigating the case. But again, the good news is that Alex Dorsanville and her child are now free.
TheAdvocateChannel.com looks at the world through the lens of equality and inclusion. Subscribe, like, and share now. AC 24/7's Top Story Countdown continues with our producer's pick for number 3.
Americans' borrowing habits reaching a historic milestone. For the first time ever, credit card debt levels have surpassed $1 trillion. That's according to data released Tuesday by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York.
What we're seeing here is more people carrying more debt. The New York Fed says credit card balances are at a record high for longer periods of time.
Meanwhile, a new Bankrate survey finds 47% of U.S. credit card holders are currently carrying credit card debt month to month. It comes as interest rates have soared to levels not seen in over 2 decades.
The average credit card charges about 20.5%. So there are definitely some worrisome signs there.
Ted Rossman, senior analyst at Bankrate.com, has 3 tips for people holding a lot of credit card debt. 1, try the avalanche method. List your debts from the highest to lowest interest rate, make the minimum monthly payment on each, and then invest all your extra cash toward paying off the highest interest debt. Repeat until you've paid all your debts down. 2, consider a zero balance transfer credit card. It allows you to transfer your existing high-cost debt over to a new card and pauses the interest clock for up to 21 months.
For those 21 months, the ability to avoid interest is really powerful. That could save you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars, depending on how much you owe.
And 3, get your spending under control. Bankrate suggests focusing on basic necessities and obligations and delaying major purchases like cars. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
Like the Advocate channel on Facebook for the best way to get updates on stories that advocate for equality, justice, our rights, and more. AC 24/7 continues with today's top 2 pick.
As President Joe Biden was heading to Utah on Wednesday evening, FBI special agents tried to arrest a Utah man they said was making threats against the president. When they arrived at his residence in the early hours Wednesday, FBI SWAT agents said he pointed a gun at them while they were giving him commands.
There was a big boom, and then there was another one, and another one, and another one. And I thought that their house was on fire because there was smoke and red lights.
That was the moment FBI special agents shot and killed Craig Robertson. Some neighbors described what they heard and saw.
There was just like a lot of shouting, a lot of just kind of loud bangs because I think they were trying to get him to wake up and trying to go ahead and like get him out of his house.
I found out later from my next door neighbor that my neighbor here had died. They saw him dead in the driveway.
Robertson was already under FBI surveillance and facing 3 federal charges, according to a complaint from the U.S. attorney. Among them, making disturbing threats against the president. In one threat, Robertson wrote, "I hear Biden is coming to Utah." and that he was going to dust off the M24 sniper rifle.
This was someone who they were already very concerned about, and then he started talking about acting out against the president on this trip. I'm sure that raised everyone's concern to the absolute highest levels.
Other charges included influencing, impeding, and retaliating against federal law enforcement officers by threat. In recent months, Robertson also posted multiple threats against other Democratic politicians and prosecutors who have brought cases against former President and now Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney, was one of those prosecutors Robertson was allegedly targeting. In one of his posts, he wrote, "Heading to New York to fulfill my dream of eradicating another 2-bit political hack DA." In another Facebook post, Robertson said that he was getting ready for the election in 2024 and that he had guns in his house. Guns and other potential evidence which may now be in the hands of law enforcement for further review.
Follow the Advocate channel on Twitter and Instagram to stay updated on stories that matter every day. Here's our #1 story of the day. Take a look.
The most complete accounting yet of the high life of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas shows much, much more than previously known. More private jets, more fancy vacations, more sporting events, all gifts from mega-rich businessmen and documented through public and private records, plus interviews by ProPublica.
Justice Thomas has been living a life of extreme luxury for 30 years, underwritten by at least 4 different ultra-wealthy benefactors.
Earlier reports have revealed lavish gifts to Thomas, including a house for his mother and this 9-day vacation in Indonesia from conservative billionaire Harlan Crow.
I've come from regular stock,
who also underwrote a film about Thomas's humble taste.
I prefer the RV parks.
Now the list of benefactors includes 3 more names, according to ProPublica: David Sokol, Wayne Huizinga, and Tony Novelli. The report says the 4 moguls collectively treated Thomas to 38 destination vacations, including a previously unreported voyage on a yacht around the Bahamas, 26 private jet flights, plus an additional 8 by helicopter, a dozen VIP passes to professional and college sporting events, 2 stays at luxury resorts in Florida and Jamaica, and 1 standing invitation to an uber-exclusive golf club. The dollar value likely in the millions, little of which appeared in required financial disclosures, according to ProPublica. Thomas has previously said he didn't feel the need to disclose some gifts, and that worries Jeremy Fogel, an expert on judicial ethics and a former judge.
I simply couldn't have done this, and even if the people involved didn't have interest before the court, it's just the idea that you are receiving gifts of this magnitude.
Associate justices make about $285,000 a year. In 2001, when they made about $100,000 less, Thomas spoke up.
The job is not worth doing for what they pay. It's not worth doing for the grief, but it is worth doing for the principle.
Now he bristles at questions about his principles. He calls Crow merely a friend. Crow says they never talk about Thomas's work, and the new report found none of these wealthy pals seem to have had cases before the court. Still,
each one of these new benefactors, just like Harlan Crow, came into his life after he was appointed to the Supreme Court. That's why it's so problematic from an ethics standpoint.
Thanks for watching the Advocate Channel's top stories. We're on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Follow, like, and share, or check out advocatechannel.com for even more stories that advocate for you.